Hey, welcome back to Geek Out RC. Since I had this guy out of the cabinet doing a little bit of work to it, I thought maybe we'd take a closer look at it since it was already out. This is a Kyosho Turbo Optima. Alright, today I thought we would take a look at one of my Kyosho Turbo Optimas. This one here is an original, not a re-release. And this was my uncle's car throughout my childhood when I would go over and visit my aunt and uncle and cousins. This used to just set on his headboard. It was more of a display piece than it was a runner, though he did run it a handful of times. I always loved the car. When I got older, to the point of starting to collect, I approached him and asked if he would be willing to sell me the car, and he did sell it to me. I just love the way that he had this car set up. Very unique, and I'm so happy it's a part of my collection. My uncle was very much into dirt oval racing, and he liked the World of Outlaws, the sprint cars, and this has been modeled after a sprint car with what was available in the 80s. There was not nearly the availability of all the different customization parts as there is today, so he made up a makeshift wing for the roof and a small wing for the front end. It's got some Proline Comanche tires on here, kind of a dirt track tire, and just some Kyosho satin aluminum plastic wheels. They look like aluminum wheels, but they're just painted plastic. The original Turbo Optima did come with front and rear sway bars. This was chain drive only back in the day. There was no option for a belt drive. You had clamping style shock collars, not a threaded shock body. So those you needed a Phillips head screwdriver to adjust your spring preload. This has the optional gold anodized side guards on there. Those did not come factory. These kits came with a Le Mans 240S motor, and this is an optional gold anodized aluminum motor guard that's been put on here. And like most of the cars built back in the 80s, early 90s, just quality materials, fiberglass, aluminum, steel. This thing's built like a tank. It's heavy when you pick it up. It's just quality. Another work of art. Just beautiful machines from back in the 80s. This car has a Futaba electronic speed control in it, and it had a steering servo in it when I got it, and it got taken out when I pulled the car apart to clean it, and I never did get around to putting the steering servo back in it yet. And you can see from the bottom side of this car, it was only run a handful of times, I think mostly in the grass. The few times that he did run it, my aunt was running her car as well, and she ran into the back end of this car and cracked the end bell on his motor. So that's some of the reason this car ended up as more of a display piece. And of course, you have got to love the old 80s bodies where everything was painted on with a brush. I think he did a pretty decent job here for what he had to work with back in the day. Looks like he probably just used a finer brush to do the yellow, and then came back over top of all of it with orange. And his window nets, after I was sitting here looking at it for a minute, it looks as though he stuck the window nets to the inside of the windows and then painted over top of them. I thought maybe he left the window masks on there at first, and when I scratch at the nets on the outside, there's no border to them. So the window nets he stuck to the inside of the Lexan and then painted over top of them. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't really bother me. I love the orange and yellow together with the black and white lettering. I think the paint scheme's excellent. It's not box art. You guys know I love my box art, but looks spectacular nonetheless, and It's my uncle's car, and it's memories of him, so that's most important to me. And along with the car, when I purchased it, my uncle still had the original wheels and tires. I don't know that these ever got run at all. If they did, maybe just a few times in the grass. They're just absolutely mint. The wheels are still nice and white. They're not yellowed at all. The tires are flawless. There's no cracking or dry rot. Still got Bridgestone on the sidewall there when Kyosho still had their licensing with Bridgestone. This was a 3-piece wheel that screwed together. There was a ring that went inside of the tire, and then an inner and outer piece of the wheel that screwed together and clamped your beads of your tire, so you didn't have to glue them. But just amazing to have the original wheels and tires for the Optima, and they're just in flawless condition. All right, that was a little bit closer look at my Kyosho Turbo Optima. Definitely one of the more sentimental pieces in my collection, something I won't be parting with anytime soon. I also have a re-release Kyosho Turbo Optima that we'll take a look at some point in the future. Until then, thanks for watching. Take care.